You may be next to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Missouri is now moving to the next phase of distribution. Thank you for being with us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. State officials announced the next group that's able to get that shot. And our Justina Cornell is live in St. Louis to tell us who's on the list.
Yeah, Mike, state officials say that they're putting their most vulnerable populations first. And today I spoke to one mom who says this is great news because her 20-year-old son is at risk. For some, he's known as Nathan, but for Kelly Stone, she calls her son a miracle. Nathan has rare diseases, mitochondrial dysfunction, and Pierpont syndrome. With the addition of COVID-19, Nathan is at risk.
We knew that without having T cells to be able to fight regular everyday colds, we knew that something like COVID-19 would be potentially fatal to him.
COVID-19 did rip through her St. Charles family, though. Her husband was in the hospital fighting for his life for 3 weeks.
I almost lost my best friend, and it was because we didn't have the vaccine soon enough.
The entire family got the virus except Nathan.
He is a miracle. I have said it more than once in his life.
Stone wanting to protect her son even more. That's why he's pushing to get the shot. With Missouri's latest announcement, Nathan falls in line to get the shot next.
We've had about 48,000 people sign up for our virtual queue.
On Thursday, the state activated the next phase involving emergency services, public works, public health, and first responders. Starting Monday, phase 1B Tier 2 goes into effect, including high-risk populations. In St. Charles County, the head of the health department says they just got a new batch of vaccines.
We received about 2,000 doses of Pfizer vaccine.
They're ready to distribute it to those waiting, including Nathan.
I am overjoyed, to know that I can save him.
It's the miracle Stone has been praying for.
For him to be able to be vaccinated means that my miracle will continue being a miracle for a long time.
Now, if you're trying to figure out what group you fall under, you can head over to our website as we have a full breakdown on there. You can go to KSDK.com and go under the section as seen on TV. Reporting in downtown St. Louis, Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
And we have a vaccine team collecting all of the latest information about COVID vaccines. You can find out if your county is taking registrations right now and how to sign up. Just text the word vaccine to 314-444-5125. That is a text-only line. Numbers of new confirmed cases of COVID-19 are flattening in the St. Louis area. That's some good news. Here's the latest graph. The most recent numbers are on the far right. 1,690 new cases yesterday, up just slightly from 1,655 Tuesday. But the 7-day running average is coming down. It's at 1,973 cases per day. That number had been rising following the holidays.
New at 6, a bill headed to Governor J.B. Pritzker's desk would make Illinois the first state to end cash bail. Our Jasmine Payut reports.
It's a historic bill that gives some hope, as Bill HB 3653 would make Illinois the first state in the country to completely abolish cash bail.
You know, are really excited about the passing of this bill because this is what we've organized for the past few years.
The bill will overhaul the state's pretrial justice system by no longer holding accused people solely based on their ability to pay bail.
There's a difference between cash bail and cash only bail. It's not a problem with cash bail. There is a problem with cash only bail, and Illinois only does cash only bail.
Juwan Harris runs Mr. Harris's bail bonds in St. Louis City, but he often gets inquiries from Illinois.
I have people out on bond all across the country, so I'm what's called a commercial bail bonds.
He believes ending cash bail will create a scenario favorable for reoffenders.
It has to be something. It can't just be a slap on the wrist, because you can go out and you'll do it right back. You do the same thing.
But supporters say otherwise. They say poor people are often unfairly jailed because they don't have money to post bail. And in the bill, judges would still have discretion to deny release to those who pose a threat to public safety.
So this is also a huge step in the right direction to address racial disparities in the criminal justice system.
Governor Pritzker agreed, writing in a statement, "I have long held that an essential mark of good governance is a willingness to change the laws that have failed the people of Illinois. This criminal justice package carries with it the opportunity to shape our state into a lesson in true justice for the nation. Reporting in Illinois, Jasmine Payute, 5 on your side.
There is a 2-year implementation period, so changes would not take effect until January of 2023.
A live look now at our airport sky cam. Right now it's raining, but temperatures are dropping, and soon we're going to be seeing some snow. Perhaps not as much as you may like. We have team coverage tonight from meteorologist Tracy Hinson and meteorologist Jim Castillo. And let's begin with Jim, who is tracking that snow. Jim.
Yeah, hi, Mike. We're excited about tomorrow. Tomorrow's a day from late morning all the way through the evening hours where we actually have even posted for the metro now starting at noon all the way till about 9 p.m. So burst of snow, yeah, you can't rule them out. We're only talking about an inch to as much as 2 inches, mainly on grassy surfaces. It was 49 for the high today, 50s over the last couple of days. But if you get some bursts, you could definitely get some issues on the roadways, especially untreated roadways, bridges and overpasses. But the kids may actually be able to sled if we do get the 1 to 2 inches of snow on the grass. Of course, blizzard warnings for northwest Missouri, north of St. Joe. And of course, coming up, we'll talk much more about this storm and the timing on it in just a few minutes. But for now, Ann, I'll toss it back to you.
Jim, thank you. Snowfall, it's been lackluster this season, right? People went from dreaming of a white Christmas to hoping for at least just a little bit of snow in January. 5 on your side's Tracy Hinson is at a very lonely Art Hill with more on what this dry winter could mean for St. Louis.
And as we know, kids haven't been able to flock to Art Hill like they have in years past to go sledding. I even saw they do have the bales set up down there, so hopefully we get something tomorrow. But if you're thinking this year has been quite unusual, you're right. It has been a very quiet year for snowfall. Now, I talked with Mark Fuchs today. He's a hydrologist at the National Weather Service office in St. Louis, and he agreed that this snowless streak is not normal. By mid-January, we've usually had enough snow for a few days of sledding, but this year is different. Snowfall has been minimal and we haven't gotten rainfall to make up for it. Fuchs says the lack of snow time flooding, but we could also be on the road to a drought if this continues.
Everywhere, soils are dry enough that they can accept water. So even if we had a lot of snowfall, there's some room in the soil to accept moisture.
Now, not to worry, the latest St. Louis has ever seen snow is May, so we have plenty of time to make up for it. In St. Louis, I'm Tracy.
So what's this winter? Are you disappointed by the lack of snow we've had so far this season? Weigh in on the 5 on Your Side app or at ksdk.com/vote. Wow, 61% say no, snow, stay away.
He gained international attention for storming the U.S. Capitol in a furry hat and face paint. Coming up, the St. Louis lawyer who's now representing him. Plus, it's a program designed to keep people from going back to prison, and it's working. The former CEO turning lives around.
This 5 on Your Side newscast is brought to you by VIT. For high efficiency, high quality, and the best value in St. Louis, turn to the experts. VIT Heating and Cooling.
There's been an arrest in connection with a deadly New Year's Eve shooting in North St. Louis County. Emmon Baker is charged with first-degree murder. Witnesses say Baker shot Chriselle Fulton after the two were involved in a traffic accident in Glasgow Village. Police said they recovered the gun used to kill Fulton. Troopers have identified a woman killed in a car accident this morning on I-64 in Lake St. Louis. Investigators say Katrina Tudor crossed 3 lanes of traffic and hit a concrete block near Prospect Road. Her SUV flipped and burst into flames. Tudor died at the scene. She was 37 years old and from Troy, Missouri.
Members of the Missouri National Guard are heading to Washington, D.C. to help with inauguration security. They'll help manage crowds and traffic around the Capitol, National Mall, and the White House. Troops will also offer communications, logistical, medical, and public affairs support. They'll join members from several other states, including Illinois. One of the protesters who stormed the Capitol dressed in a furry hat with horns, you probably have seen this guy, pictures of him. Well, now he has a St. Louis lawyer. Al Watkins is representing Jacob Chansley, and he wants President Trump to pardon his client. Chansley lives in Arizona. He's facing 2 federal charges. Watkins says Chansley did not participate in any acts of violence that day and was not armed. Watkins says Chansley is a military veteran with no criminal history. He's also a nature lover who meditates, practices yoga, and eats only organic food.
A former CEO figures out a formula to prevent people from cycling in and out of prison. Coming up, the local program that's so successful, it's spreading to other cities.
The vast majority of people released from prison return or commit another crime within their first 5 years of freedom. But a local organization believes it has found a way to significantly reduce the recidivism rate.
Tonight, our Christine Byers has the first in a 3-part series exploring how this program works.
As the former CEO of Wells Fargo, Danny Ludeman was once in charge of allocating about $20 million a year to philanthropic organizations across the country, most of it staying in the St. Louis area.
I wasn't sure. I really could not tell what impact my giving to these organizations was having.
He retired 6 years ago and has been using his business savvy ever since to build a prison rehabilitation organization that he can prove works. It's called Concordance Academy of Leadership.
A lot of my, best friends are CEOs of companies around the community.
So he knows how to speak their language. He raised about $31.5 million to pay for the organization's first 6 years.
They set a goal of reducing reincarceration rates by 33%. And we've reduced it by 44%, exceeding the goal. And there's no other organization on the planet that has come close to that.
Ludeman most recently called on another one of his friends in high places, Dave Stewart, the CEO of Worldwide Technology.
He agreed to lead a $50 million campaign that would allow us to expand to 11 additional cities outside of St. Louis over the next 5 years.
Experts and researchers from Washington University, St. Louis University, and the University of Missouri St. Louis came up with the 18-month curriculum. It covers virtually every social service a person could possibly need before and after prison. But none of the work begins until a student's mental health is addressed.
If you're suffering from mental health, substance use, you haven't healed yet, you'll be evicted.
And you won't keep a job.
That's why we spend most of our resources on mental health and substance use treatment, because they don't get that right. This other stuff doesn't really matter.
Many students come from families eager to get a second income coming in as soon as possible. So Concordance pays its students about $320 a week to work on themselves.
It's not a living wage, but it certainly helps the families.
Ludeman again used his business sense to get state leaders to buy in. He says for every dollar the state spends on Concordance, it can save about $4.50 in reincarceration costs. Missouri gave Concordance its first $2.1 million contract last year. Ludeman hopes other states will follow.
They don't pay $1 to us until we've shown that we can reduce the rate of reincarceration over whatever state's base rate is. Many of our participants are now earning a middle class income, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. They're being reunited with their children. It's a wonderful thing to see.
Christine Byers, 5 on your side.
An important story, and the first city where Concordance Academy is aiming to expand is Chicago. And next week, Christine will bring us an interview with a Concordance graduate. To learn more about this program and how to donate, you can read the first of Christine's 3-part series right now on KSDK.com.
Let's head back to Jim Castillo, who is tracking some snow for us. I don't know if any kids are watching, but they're probably just a little bit excited about this, even if it is a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. Even if you get 1-2 inches of snow on the grass, you can still go sledding, which is nice. And just keep in mind, Ann and everybody out there, remember on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, we had more of an ice situation, then a little snow on top of that. This is expected to be just mainly snow. So burst of snow can't be ruled out either. But it has been very mild. In fact, 49 for the high today, 41 still at this hour. The entire state of Missouri is above freezing. The front has already moved through, and the really strong gusty wind is coming later tonight and into tomorrow. There are blizzard warnings for northwest Missouri, north of St. Joe, and they're expecting the winds closer to 50 miles, maybe 55 miles an hour late tonight into tomorrow. In St. Louis right now, the wind has died down. It was a little bit gusty right along the front. West wind at about 10 and 41 degrees at the moment, so still very mild. No threat of any snow this evening or even the overnight. We might get a mixed shower. Overnight lows, well, this morning 38. And we're expecting about 32 tonight. The average high 40 and 23 for the low. And again today, way above average, almost 50, and about a 1/10 of an inch of rainfall. And you can see on the Doppler weather radar that the rain still spotty, even west of St. Louis and approaching Wentzville. You'll get another shower there all the way down to Union and Sullivan and Franklin County, and then also Effingham to Mount Vernon. Some more rain showers. But it is tomorrow, so Friday, that Madison County, St. Clair County, and Illinois, including St. Louis City and County, St. Charles County, Jefferson County, there is a winter weather advisory for just snow, and that's about noon until 9 p.m. So it's an all-day event. Phelps County to Pike County, maybe a little bit more in the way of snow, 1 to 2 inches there, possibly slightly higher. But around St. Louis and the metro, again, 1/2 inch to 1 inch, up to 2 inches in those bursts that come around this area of low pressure that's going to really bring in that wind and also the burst of a little bit of moisture, of snow. Again, it's not a giant snowstorm, but something we have to keep our eyes on. Bridges, overpasses, and untreated roadways could be an issue when those bursts of snow come in the afternoon. 39 or 34 for tomorrow. That's another factor too. We're taking the temperature down just a little bit from yesterday. 37 for Saturday, just flurries. Then Sunday 35, and we're partly sunny later in the day. And then Martin Luther King Jr. Day looks dry, but after that, we'll have some moisture moving in. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, just something we'll watch, but it looks like high temperatures then in the 40s. Mike?
Okay, Jim, thank you. Coming up in sports, there's a new twist in Yadier Molina's search for a new contract. Frank Cusimano has that when we come back.
Negotiations are usually about one word: leverage. Get another offer from a competitor and your value goes up. 38-year-old Yadier Molina doesn't seem to be getting any other offers. So he has another idea for leverage. His leverage is retirement. After all, he's made $154 million. So in a recent interview, he said, quote, "If God wants me to come back, then I'll come back. And if not, I will retire happy with my head held high." Offensive depth played a big role in the Blues' victory over Colorado on Wednesday, and so did Jordan Binnington, who only allowed 1 goal and made 26 saves against a top cup contender. He says he's ready for the fresh start.
Excited to play hockey again. I think we came out strong as a team. A couple penalties, but we did a good job. The boys stepped up, and we found a way to get it done, and we played right till the end. So, it's good to get in that win column again for sure.
CBC head football coach Scott Pingle is trying to help his kids get scholarships. Due to COVID, college coaches haven't been able to lay eyes on their prospects, which hinders the recruiting process. Coach Pingle says some of his seniors are falling victim to that, and something else implemented to help college athletes during these tough times.
3 different schools reach out. When I asked them about Chevy, they said, "We're looking for an older receiver right now. We're looking to go to the transfer portal. We're looking for a guy with a little bit more experience." And, you never had that answer before, because I've been thinking, shoot, you got this kid for 4 to 5 years. Let's develop him. You got a guy. But I guess with the culture of college football, they want to win now. So they're looking at the transfer portal a little bit heavier.
And be sure to be with us Sunday night for Sports Plus. Our special guest, Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce together. That'll do it in sports. I'm Frank Cusimano.
Looking forward to that. Thanks, Frank. One last check of the weather with Jim.
Yeah, hi, Mike. That winter weather advisory starts up at noon tomorrow around the metro. 34 for the high, snow showers, and very windy. Much more tonight at 10.
Jim, thanks. And there you have it. 5 on your side at 6. Wheel of Fortune is next. We hope to see you right back here tonight for 5 on your side at 10.
5 on Your Side closed captioning is sponsored by Sarah Honda. Need maintenance on your car? Call our mobile service, 833-GO-SARAH.